Over the years, the Z has sustained a lot of damage, and I've been trying to get around to finding a time where I can go ahead and get it fixed. I have no idea how much it's gonna cost. Bodywork is super complicated. It's not something that's in my wheelhouse. I would love to learn it in the future, but today is not that day. So I went ahead, took the Z over to some professionals local to me. They just worked on the truck. They hooked me up with an estimate of a few of the items that I need to have addressed before I either have the car wrapped or paint matched. So let me take you in for a closer look. All right, we're gonna get you guys in close here, starting at the front, working our way to the back, and I will give you the full price breakdown at the end. And I just want to kind of talk through what's going on, what the options are, and see where we go from here, basically. So if you guys are curious what front bumper this is the VIS AMS GT front bumper. It is fiberglass. I bought this quite a while ago, maybe 4 or 5, no wait, after, it's gotta be almost 7 years actually. And at the time, I think I paid around $700 for it. I just saw it online there. It said it was like $550 with a 20% off discount or something. So that's the base price, not painted. So you would still have to paint this front bumper. So let's look at some of the damages on here. Now, these are not cool damages. I don't drift yet, and I didn't do anything cool to cause these. I actually rear-ended a friend of mine, which, if you're watching this, Theo, that was hilarious. Sorry. But yeah, we got that all squared away. And instead of throwing away the bumper, because I don't have that much money, I'm more of a budget guy, I just went ahead, drift stitched it. It was already freshly wrapped, so it actually looked pretty good. And if you can see all the squares around here, this is where I put vinyl patches over and just cut them out. And you actually couldn't see, there was about 50 patches on here, and you could not tell where all of this stuff was. So your main damaged area here, 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 and then under here, there's a humongous chunk that just kind of was all messed up. But honorable mention, we have a crack that spiders all the way up here and out here. And then the front lip here is a little bit messed up from, I don't know, I must have hit maybe, I don't know, concrete barrier or something like that. I have no idea. Or a curb, not a barrier. And then there's general scratches all over the place. But the best part about this front bumper, other than looking great, I think it is my favorite front bumper. My taste hasn't really changed. I still think this is the best looking front bumper for this car. There are a couple others that are also awesome, but this is the one I come back to every single time. Price on this is a little bit staggering, and we will get into that. But first, let's go to the back. So the other problem area is the duckbill wing here. Now, these are not that expensive, and when they shipped it to me, it said ready for paint. I'm an idiot, and I was in the whole send it phase of my life where I was like, you don't need to prep anything like that. It says paint ready, so let's shoot it with paint. Obviously, the vinyl stuck to all this, ripped off completely. You could see it in the video a couple of videos ago where we took the wrap off and it took all this paint off. So yeah, that's definitely something that needs to be addressed. This is something I could paint, but I don't want to paint it while it's on the car. And these are riveted down. We kind of worked with the 3M tape for a long time, but the 3M tape kept melting in the sun, especially because this is a black car, and the wing was almost falling off. So before I wrapped it, I drilled it, put rivets in here. So I'm gonna have to drill these rivets out and probably replace them with better hardware, and you know, maybe the screw down rivets, riv nuts, and probably add one here and here because there's a little bit of a gap here. But this should be pretty straightforward for getting it prepped, getting it sanded, and getting it painted to match. So I'm not too worried about this, and I'm sure you could buy ones that are already paint matched, but I already have this one in my possession, and it's actually cheaper to paint this than to buy a new one and then hope that it matches, and if it doesn't match, then I'd have to get it repainted anyway. So moving on. All right, so here is the biggest problem child, and I know I pointed this out before, and the lighting's not great here, but this is rust here. We don't like rust. We're in New England, we're in the Rust Belt. I have not taken this car in the winter, except for like maybe a handful of times for emergencies, but I try to keep this out of the salt. Now, this is more in depth of a repair. For guys who have worked with rust before, I've worked with rust before, but with on more rudimentary vehicles like the Jeep and the truck. Stuff that's a little bit more rough around the edges, something I don't mind messing up or being a little bit rough with. This, I really want to keep this car probably forever, and I want this to be done well. I really want this to be done well. So I'm not going to be doing it because I don't have the skills to do a good job like this. So my buddy Mark went ahead, took a look at this, and gave me an estimate for fixing this. So you'd have to cut out the metal, you would have to paint it there, and then he said he'd have to re-clear the whole quarter just to make sure that everything matches up, and just do it quality and just do it right the first time and just get it done. So this is getting done no matter what. So whatever we decide here, this quarter is going to be completely redone, well, at least re-cleared, and that is going to be cut out and fixed. Reveal what the grand total is, then I'll give you the breakdown. But take this time right now, go down in the comment section, comment what you think it's going to be for the front bumper to be repaired, painted, the quarter, and the spoiler. What do you think it's going to cost? Go down there right now, drop it, don't cheat, and I will, I don't know, I'll pin whoever's closest. You're welcome. The grand total is $1,700 to get everything all repaired, painted, ready to go. And I'll tell you how that breaks down. So, starting with the front bumper, they're thinking $700 to $800 to get this completely fixed up. So it's fiberglass, so they have to do a lot of labor to fix all of the cracks and everything. And then with paint and other materials, it's only an extra like $100 on top. So it's either going to be $700 or $800 depending on how much time it takes, but it won't exceed $800. So let's just call it, let's call it $800. $800 here in the front, and we'll move to the spoiler. So the spoiler, he said, is not going to take that much effort, especially if I, drill these out, bring this in separately, because he doesn't want to paint it on the car, which I don't blame him. He wants to be able to get underneath and make sure it gets a good bond. So he said this would be about $200. So there's $1,000 right there. And then this whole quarter is left. So that means that this is going to be $700 to do this quarter. So I'm spending $700 no matter what, because this is going to get fixed, and it's going to get fixed correctly. Now there's other paint, miscellaneous things I might throw in. I might have him just kind of touch up around the holes that I had for the spoiler that I previously had, just to prevent any rust, anything like that. That shouldn't be anything too much, maybe $50, $100, something like that. There is like one rust spot right there, which is about the size of the head of a pin. So I might have him take care of that. And then here's my thing about the black paint, right? So if I were to get this all paint matched, which honestly, I may as well, even if I go wrap, because I do want to wrap it. This is going to get wrapped again, because even if I get the bumper fixed and painted, which will look good, it'll complete the car, make it not look so hodgepodge. It buys me some time so I can find a sponsor for the wrap. I do have a sponsor for the labor, and I'll be helping with that and filming as well. But I need to find a sponsor for the wrap itself, or come into some more money. We'll see. But I think it's worth it for the paint, because most of the cost is the labor. And, an extra $100, I'll pay an extra $100 to have the whole front bumper match the rest of the car. That's an easy decision for me. Let's talk about some X factors though. So we know what it's going to cost to repair. We know I'm spending $700 in the quarter to fix that correctly, and I'll probably do the spoiler as well. So let's just say $900, right? So that leaves me with another $800 decision, right? Do I fix this for $800, or do I try and find a used one somewhere that's not all messed up? Here's the thing. If I bought a brand new one for $550, they probably want shipping on top of that and taxes. So we're looking at least $600. And then you got to paint that. So what's that going to be? $100, $200? We're right in the same boat. So I don't know what the right move is. So I'm going to be looking around, seeing what my options are. If anybody has any feedback for me, what you think I should do, drop it down. I'm always curious what you guys should think. But I'm hoping to have this done soon. I'm hoping to have this done in a reasonable amount of time, but unlike really big, large YouTubers, I don't have the funds to just drop money like that. builds don't happen overnight, and you know, I hope to be at that level at someday, but I hope this makes me a little bit more relatable, because you know, money just doesn't grow on trees. We're adults now. Things need to be paid for, food needs to be eaten, and cars need gas, things like that. That's why it's important to get that message out that, you know, builds take time. They take a lot of time, they take a lot of effort, and they take a lot of investment. So if this is something that you guys are passionate about, it's totally worth it. And I don't want you guys to feel bad that maybe you don't have enough money to get that car done as fast as you want to, or you know, just be able to send it out to a shop, have them complete it, and then you can enjoy the benefits. But I enjoy this process. This, you know, the fact that I can't afford this currently doesn't bother me at all, because it's all part of the process. You know, taking it to the shop, talking about options, you know, maybe being able to look for a Black Friday deal, maybe be able to talk to a company that might want to sponsor. Just problem solving, and then once you get it done, it feels really good. I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling on at this point, but you know what? I really enjoyed making this video and talking to you guys about this and kind of sharing that experience. Shout out to Mark. Thank you so much for giving me the estimates. Hopefully we can be working together soon. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you watching the video as always. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.